So we're going to jump into the evidence of Angela van den Bogerd to the Post Office Horizon IT inquiry. She's been giving evidence to the Post Office Horizon IT inquiry for the past 2 days. She's a former Post Office executive who's been in post from 1985 to 2020, so covering the vast majority of all the happenings in the past few decades at the Post Office. And she's the most senior person to appear at the Post Office inquiry so far. First, she wanted to make an apology, which was quite short, followed by some corrections to a witness statement, which we'll analyse. Our content is 100% funded by your donations, so if you do have a spare pound or two, please see our locals and Patreon links in the description below. Thanks again for your support. Let's jump into the inquiry.
Good morning, sir. Can you see and hear us?
I can, thank you very much.
Thank you. May I call Miss van den Bogerd, please?
Yes, of course.
Repeat after me. I do solemnly,
sincerely and truly,
declare and affirm that the evidence I shall give shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. That's lovely. Thank you.
Good morning, Miss van den Bogerd. My name is Jason Beer and I ask questions on behalf of the inquiry. Can you tell us your full name, please?
Angela Margaret van den Bogerd.
You've provided 2 detailed witness statements to the inquiry, for which many thanks, and thank you for attending to give evidence today. Before we get into the detail of those 2 witness statements, I think there's something that you wanted to say, is that right?
It is, thank you, if I may. Saying sorry and no doesn't change what's happened, but I do want to say to everyone impacted by wrongful convictions and wrongful contract terminations that I am truly, truly sorry for the devastation caused to you, your family and friends. I hope my evidence will assist this inquiry with getting to the answers you and so many others deserve. Thank you, Mr. Beer.
Thank you.
Well, that was short and sweet in terms of an apology, but witness statements sound like they've been quite comprehensive. Angela van den Bogerd was an executive who held various titles at the Post Office up until leaving in 2020. Started work at the Post Office in 1985, so she was there throughout the entire period of the Post Office scandal until very recently. Certainly all through the prosecutions and the rollout of Horizon and the emerging issues. So it should be interesting to see what she can cast a light on here.
Can we look at the 2 witness statements, please? The first is 114 pages long, dated the 20th of March 2014. And the URN, if we can display it, please, is WITN 0990-0100.
I'm guessing that's 2024, not 2014. Possibly a misspeak by Jason Beer.
I think there are 7 corrections that you wish to make to that statement. Can we start with the first of those, please? Which is page 21, paragraph 36. I think there's an addition that you would like to make to the end of paragraph 36 to insert the following words. Further disclosure, poll 0014 2481 and poll 0017 8171 shows I initiated the provision and analysis of the Horizon logs in respect of the unexplained loss at the branch. So I'll read that back without the 2 URNs. Further disclosure shows I initiated the provision and analysis of the Horizon logs in respect of the unexplained loss at the branch. Is that right?
That's correct, thank you.
So presumably some changes on the back of the bundle of documents that the Post Office inquiry.
The Second Amendment, page 31, please, paragraph 62, in line 8, which reads, this was the first time I had ever attended an interview with a sub-postmaster. I think you want to add the words of this type of after the words attended, so that it reads, this was the first time I had ever attended this type of an interview.
That's correct.
Is that correct?
Thank you.
Page 38, please. Paragraph 77, line 7. The date, the first date, I think you would like to amend 10th of March 2012 to 10th of May 2012. Is that right?
That's correct, yes.
Page 65, please. Line 1. I think you would like to delete the words as the terms of reference have not been disclosed.
That's correct, 'cause I've seen them since I put this together.
So that it would read, from memory, the purpose of Project Sparrow was to oversee.
Correct.
Page 104, please. Paragraph 223B, which is at the foot of the page. I think you would like to add the words from memory at the beginning of the paragraph. So it reads, from memory, my involvement.
Correct.
And then at the end of the paragraph, add the following words. However, further disclosed documents show I was involved in discussions regarding overlaps between witness statements.
That's correct. Thank you.
Page 109, please. Paragraph 229. At the end of the paragraph, I think you would like to add the words, further disclosure shows me raising my concerns to Andrew Parsons of Womble Bond Dickinson.
Correct.
So further disclosure shows me raising my concerns to Andrew Parsons of Womble Bond Dickinson. Can you turn to the final page of the witness statement, page 114? Is that your signature?
So the majority of the changes there, or at least the most substantive ones, appear to be based on documentation that's been provided to the post office, from the post office inquiry to Angela Vanden Bogerd.
It is, yes.
And with those corrections brought into account, are the contents of that witness statement true to the best of your knowledge and belief?
They are.
Thank you. Can we turn to the second witness statement, which is 7 pages long? WITN 0990-0200. I think there's one correction you would like to make to that, which is on page 6, paragraph 16. And I think you would like to delete the words starting 3 lines from the bottom, whilst I cannot,
Correct.
right until the end of the paragraph.
That's right.
So all of that page from whilst I cannot, and then over the page to the words the scheme.
Correct.
And instead insert the words helpline calls were not audio recorded at the time. It was the call logs that were used for the scheme investigations.
That's correct. Thank you.
I'm sorry, Mr. Beer, there are 2 sentences ending with scheme. There's the first line and the third line. Where do I stop deleting? Is it the whole, is it right to the end or the first scheme?
It's to the end, sir.
That's fine. And could you just tell me again what the correction includes by way of additional words?
Yes, helpline calls were not audio recorded at the time. It was the call logs that were used for the scheme investigations.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Is that your signature on page 7?
It is, yes.
And are the contents of the witness statement true to the best of your knowledge and belief with that correction brought into account?
They are, yes. Thank you.
Thank you. That can come down.
So that's the witness statements read into evidence with the corrections there, and the most substantive changes being in relation to documents received from the post office inquiry subsequent to the statements being written in March and April.